The moon has always played an important role in the history of Earth and human culture. But even after all human study, it is still a strange structure that displays characteristics that baffle modern science, even today, leading some researchers to put forth the theory that the moon might in fact not be a natural object in Earth orbit, but in fact be artificial, or something that was constructed. Stay tuned as Esoteric Detective brings you 6 things that might prove the moon is an artificial structure. Number 6. There is anecdotal evidence that in ancient times, the Earth was in fact moonless. These anecdotal accounts show up in ancient writings. And it is not a single account, but is cross-cultural. The ancient philosophers, Democritus and Anaxagoras, taught that there was a time when the Earth was without the moon. And Aristotle wrote that Arcadia in Greece, before being inhabited by the Hellenes, had a population of Pelasgians, and that these aborigines occupied the land already before there was a moon in the sky above the Earth. It is for this reason they were called proselynes, which translate to people before there was a moon. Theodorus of Cyrene, the famous Greek mathematician, also writes that there was a time when the moon did not exist in the night sky, and that the moon appeared only shortly after a great war. Other ancient scholars, including Aristochus and Dionysius Chalcidensis, also state that certain cultures existed before the moon was in the sky. You could say that these are just people at the time, with imaginations that have gone astray. But this is not events shared in just one culture. There are literally a sea of other accounts, ranging from cultures all around the globe. It is about as popular as what scholars used to call the flood myth, which appeared in the Bible, and a number of ancient writings. This was always thought of a myth, as well, until scientists caught up and found, only a few years ago, evidence that 12,000 years ago a comet hit the Earth, and caused a massive flood, which drowned out the Earth. Number 5. The lunar wave. Modern researchers have found what they call a lunar wave on the moon. This was first discovered by YouTuber Crow777, who first recorded the wave on the moon with his telescope. It has since been recorded and confirmed by other lunar researchers, and recorded all around the world. Researchers have described the wave as not being any kind of digital anomaly of the camera, and that there really is some kind of wave on the moon. They describe this as evidence that the moon might have some kind of holographic surface, and might be hiding the real structure underneath. Let's take a look. But if a hologram is hiding a structure, then what kind of structure is it hiding, and who put it there? The question that the moon might be some advanced satellite raises more questions than answers. Number 4. The moon is possibly hollow. The most incredible evidence that suggests the moon could be hollow came on November 20, 1969, when the Apollo 12 crew, after returning to their command ship, sent the lunar module crashing back onto the moon, creating an artificial moonquake. The moon reverberated like a bell for more than an hour. The vibration wave took almost 8 minutes to reach a peak, then decreased in intensity, something no one had expected to occur. This gave NASA scientists at the time reason to speculate that the moon must be hollow. NASA scientist Dr. Gordon MacDonald stated, "If the astronomical data are reduced, it is found that the data require that the interior of the moon be less dense than the outer parts. Indeed, it would seem that the moon is more like a hollow than a homogeneous sphere." Number 3. Compounds found on the moon point at an artificial structure. After an analysis of the moon rocks were undertaken by experts, traces of bronze, mica, amphibole and almost pure titanium were found. According to the Argonne National Laboratory, uranium-236 and neptunium-237. In other words, elements that were not previously found in nature were discovered in moon rocks. Scientists were also baffled when they also discovered the presence of rust-proof iron particles in soil samples in the Sea of Crises. This has led many researchers to speculate that the moon had been constructed at some time, via artificial means, since all these compounds do not naturally form. Number 2. Artificial structures have been found on the moon. Everything from strange lights to massive towers, to what resemble smokestacks. Even to this day, new anomalies, that show that the moon is not the barren wasteland it has been described, are found. Number 1. NASA is hiding something. They routinely have admitted to airbrushing out photos on the moon to retouching photos. Evidence for this, apart from their own admission, is that often pictures, they claim were taken on the moon, have crosshair over objects in the foreground, something that is impossible unless the photo has been manipulated. The use of wires were also seen to be used in NASA lunar footage, leading many researchers to believe that a portion of the footage was shot in a studio. A link into my investigation into this will be put in the description. But if NASA are hiding something, what are they hiding? Were they warned off the moon, and could not land, because there was something else there, that did not want them there? Or is there another reason? Such as the fact that they either filmed footage they could not use, or they could not technically make the trip to the moon. NASA says they have gone to the moon 6 times, between 1969 and 1972, yet they have never returned. The solutions to these riddles may indicate an alien aspect of our familiar moon or something even more strange, that we cannot even comprehend it. What do you guys think? Do you think the moon is in fact an artificial object? Or is this just the case of a conspiratorial mindset?
Claimed.